Thank you. Let's start with some thought experiment. Suppose we will go to do a survey with the aid and analyze it with machine learning statistics and ask we take a random sample of all the Israeli data miners, machine learners, analysts, all those who work on this area, and we ask three questions. What is your age? Which tools you use to analyze R, Python, SPSS, SAS, KXCN, etc. Second question, third question, which database you are using, Oracle, Teradata, Hive, MongoDB, some other NoSQL database. And then we take the questions and try to do a clustering. So we all work, I think, most of us working in predictive analytics. So we do a clustering. And I assume that what we will find very quickly is two communities of predictive analytics experts and data scientists. First one is working with SAS, SPSS, using Teradata, Oracle. And the other group, more young, working with open source code, with all the new NoSQL. So the question is, when I came here today, to which conference I came? Because I'm coming from the old community which work in B2C's, in banks, in insurance firms, and I don't know even anybody here. So my conclusion is that it's a conference relating mostly to the second community, which is growing exponentially in the last years, giving support for analytics to the new high-tech digital industry. So I'm proud to be here with you, with most of you, and to present you that there is another world for which analytics is quite old. Predictive analytics is also old. It has many other problems than what you know in the digital, the web analytics, big data problems. And this is what GStat is doing, so I will start. Let's start. So first of all, who we are. So we are a leading big data analytics company in Israel. We have about 150 data scientists. We have a software house for development of advanced analytics software. We have also cloud services. We have 70 years of experience in hundreds of successful. There was this morning from Carmel, they said, do analytics, predictive analytics succeed? We succeed in hundreds of projects in all the B2C's in Israel. And we develop innovative business analytics software, which I will describe later. So what are B2C's, whom we speak about? So it's not digital companies, it's not Amazon. They don't have the same big data, huge problems. There are banks which have all your data, your savings, your loans, your deposits, your using of ATMs, etc., etc., etc. We have here credit card companies which can take a zoom and see how much you buy in retail chains everywhere, new profile, lifestyle according to what you are buying. It's also retailers. The retailers can also know whether you like organic food, whether you like non-organic food, what is your, if you have babies, etc., etc., etc. So they have a lot of data, and they are the retailers. Of course, they want to analyze the huge amount of data. Sometimes someone can call it big data, someone can call it not big data, but this is the B2C's. Of course, the telecom also has a lot of data, all your conversation. And healthcare, which mentioned today a few times, which also has a lot of data and want to do analytics. So what kind of predictive analytics B2C's are using? So usually they are not so advanced that they are in the web and in the looking about many things which spoken this day. but they are still more classical. They have call centers, they have branches, so they have a lot of classical communication channels with the customers, as well as the new one. But sometimes the new one is not the main, but mainly the older one. So what predictive analytics can do to the B2Cs? So today we speak in marketing about the customer journey. There is a company. The company wants to make, of course, more money, to have a customer which will give more profit. So models are using in B2Cs in each step of the joint journey of the customer and the company. At the beginning, we see the customer at the web. Then there is the issue of retargeting, catch him, make him a customer. So we can do a model for optimal retargeting. Then there is already us, first purchase. Now there is what is the optimal offer and which channel to offer it, the digital, call center, et cetera, et cetera. So all the time there are questions, what to do now? I am a bank. I have a customer. He wants a loan. So there is another question. What is the credit risk of the customer? So there is here, again, analytics. Now the customer is purchased. I have a few products. Now there is a crisis. There is a complaint. There is something which is unsatisfied. Then I have to try to, that he will not leave me. So there are models. Who is going to churn and what to do against it. And once everything is going very well, I want to be the friend of the customer, to help him. Now we are speaking more and more, not only offers, but giving added value services to the customer via the mobile or the web or any other ways. With all the channels that we have with the customer, and of course to choose every time the right customer. Of course, fraud in credit cards, we know. Cyber crimes, we know what's happened this year in Israel for one of the credit card companies. So of course, models that predict and monitor what is happening on the network, financial risk, credit risk, anti-money laundering, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In healthcare, we have a model working in שירותי בריאות כללית, which predict the risk of elderly, it means 65 and more, to deteriorate in their situation. And this model is running every few months. And the lists of those elder people which we predict that there is a risk that the situation will deteriorate from some reason or another, new tests, new information, they didn't take pills, et cetera, everything we know is going to the community centers of Klalit, and the nurses is calling and trying to take care about those. And well, we said that there is not enough healthcare is a new area, but that model, I think, will have this year the 10th anniversary. So it's working already 10 years. So there is here also a lesson that those organizations are doing what we are speaking today about predictive analytics for many years. Okay, so in the conference we hear a lot about the digital, but the actual life is that most of the money, it's not by competitors now, Couchbase, which is somewhere there, but Oracle, Microsoft, all the big giants taking still most of the money, also for analytics, also for predictive analytics. And this is a different world from the world that described today here, and I will speak what are the differences. First of all, it's multi-channel and multi-product. So multi-product, it's e-commerce also. The digital also is e-commerce, but it's multi-channel. What is the meaning of multi-channel? Is that if I want to consolidate data about the customer in banks, to have a real-time view of what happened with the customer with all the bank branches, it's almost impossible. I have to take data from system, which sometimes after reconciliation in the night. And in insurance firm, I have to reconcile data from life insurance to non-life insurance. But in life insurance, I insure the ID. In non-life insurance, I insure the apartment. And sometimes the owner of the apartment, they have no ID. So how do I see a full picture of the customer? In one bank in Israel, we count. In order to have 360 degree of customer, we have to merge 100 data sources. So this is not typical to the e-commerce. In the e-commerce, everything is centered in one system. I know in Amazon, they know in real time what I did now, what I did a minute ago, and can get optimal decision. This is not the case in the B2C's, so it's more complex to do it. There is all technology in the B2C's, the EDW, which is a non-fashion name for enterprise data warehouse, which is not modern anymore. We speak about big data, about data lakes, about many new things, but still most of the B2Cs working on that technology. They are conservative, and there is all the time a continuous process of mergers and acquisition. We came to bank, we work a few years to develop 360 degrees view of the customer, then they merge two banks together, everything has to begin from the beginning. So it's not easy. Actually, as I said, all the B2C's, banks, retail chains, they have invested a lot of money in the beginning of the century in data warehouses and started to do data mining. And some of the terms which I heard today about churn prediction and marketing and cross-sell and upsell, et cetera, well, I was in other conferences more than 10 years ago and speak about this and about modeling. So there is nothing new. They have started, most of the large banks in the world and retail chains, they have mature data warehouses, they have models, and they have, so it's not new to them. But when you're looking at what's happening in B2Cs, you see, and I think that I heard something today about the same issue. It's dependent on labor work. There is, once it was statistician, then it was data miner, then it was analyst, today it's data scientist. It's all the same names for those who take the data and crunch it and do something which is productive for the organization. So what we see that we came to those mature organizations, you see department, maybe 10, 20, 30 working with SAS, SPSS, SQL, PLSQL, and other tools, and developing models and checking them. Things become worse today because now the new generation come and they know R, so they are starting to write code in R. So they write a beautiful model, but then they left because they became data scientists after they developed one model. They can say, now I'm data scientist, and then the high-tech industry in Israel take them very quickly. So it's very, well, this is my problem. This is the way the GStat work. We take everybody work in the classic B2Cs, train them, and then they move to the high-tech. So I have many here that work in the past in GStat, learn the job in the banks, and now implementing it in the high-tech. So what's happening now? If you come to banks, retail chains, you see that analytics become a legacy. You see hundreds of thousands of tons of code, complex processes. Doing credit scoring in one of the largest banks in the UK take 1 week from the beginning to the end. Many processes. Reading data. Complex processes may be managed by some ETL tool, but take 1 week. So there are complex processes. Everything is mostly dependent on data scientists, statisticians, whatever name you call them. And the result is low level of monetization of the huge potential of big data in B2Cs. So we work in that environment, and 5, 6, 7 years ago, we said what we can do in order to increase the productivity of those B2Cs. And so what we did, take people, why do you do innovation, ideas, do a lot of brainstorming. And the result, we've succeeded with the aid of artificial intelligence tools and with the aid of all our experience to formalize in set of rules which can be implemented in code how data scientist is doing data science. So we have the computerized data scientist in our software. So this gives us a huge opportunity because now we don't, the computerized data scientists do all the process automatically. He select the variables, he do optimal binning to the data. He decide whether to use this method or other method. He check against overfitting. He checks against all the other problems and decide automatically what is the best model and implement it. But once we computerize it, we can produce thousands of models instead of the existing productivity that data scientists in B2C can produce churn model or cross-sell or upsell models. It's taking days or weeks or months. So what are the results? The results is that it took us a few years to stabilize our systems, well, to learn, to receive feedback. Now we're in version 5 of our systems. And actually, we changed dramatically all the way predictive analytics is done in Israel in B2C's. So without data scientists, we can develop and deploy hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of models. The implementation is quick and easy. There is no deployment process. There is no deployment. Deployment process for those who have experience. One data scientist developed, then he came to the IT guy and said, program it. And then you start from the beginning a new complex project. So there is no, everything is automatically. All what you have to say is to speak in the business language and say, I want to sell this and this and this product. This is all the history files. And boom, automatically the system can produce, and most of you, I think almost everybody that live in Israel, we score him on what to offer him in retail, in credit card, and credit risk, etc. So what are the main points of innovation in what we did relative to using the existing technology? First of all, automated data scientists. The operating and controlling the system is done without not even one line of code. As Carmel mentioned this morning, we use at the core of the system the R, so we don't need to be bothered about algorithms or specialize in automating the process. All the software tools are developed as a services, so you can, like a logo, configure them relative to existing monolithic tools, which you have to buy one monolithic system which do data scheme, et cetera, so we can be very easily implemented in any environment. And also we develop a very unique tools in order to prepare the data, taking into consideration the panel aspect of the data, which means each customer, we have time series and cross sections. The SQL world is very bad in dealing in such a situation. It's more place for time series, but there is the issue of millions of customers and many time series, so we optimize it in our software tool. Around our core, we develop a set of ready-made solutions, which is lifetime value prediction, cross-sell, upsell, churn prediction, anti-money, solvency, which is in the regulatory part, and also anomalies detection, which we have a lot of success last year, an issue that was mentioned today a lot. This is our customers. Actually, in Israel, we have 95% of the predictive models from B2C's. All the banks using our systems for credit scoring, for next best offer, for churn predictions, also Supersol, also healthcare, as I mentioned, also insurance firm I'm now working also with our systems, credit card companies. So actually, there is no implementation of predictive analytics from any other tool because the price performance and the innovative the innovation that we bring, that one of the largest banks can produce each month 100 models with 1 hour of work, and that's all. While before there was 6 models that they develop, and they need months of work to do the same thing. Some examples, which maybe you know. This is Supersal, the largest retail chain in Israel. A huge automatic systems from the point of sale, Ritalik point of sale, to Dfus Be'eri. All the process is automated. We analyze each one of the club member of Supersal. We analyze your lifestyle. We have a set of about 1,500 models running to adapt each month which product to offer you in the 10 slots that we have in the mailing. And lately, if you don't know, we have started, Supersal have started to send the coupons to the application. All what you have to say is, I want to buy it. You push it, and when you come to the branch, automatically you receive the bonus. This increase in tens of % the utilization of the coupons. This is a new thing I offer everybody of you to do, and this is I think, represent the best that we can do with analytics and predictive analytics. A lot of money for that things. This is another example in Europe, the same thing. This is another example, but in another area, the area of risks. One of the 3 credit cards companies was desperate from the credit fraud system from the States and said, help us. The models are bad. So again, according to the same principle as we develop for credit scoring, we develop anti-fraud system, which is running now almost real time in the company, and have a better performance than the best systems in the world. So this is what we are doing. We are now in cyber. We have some implementation of networks, anomalies detection, fraud detection, et cetera, with most of the B2C's in Israel. Thank you.